Yeah. Big JTV, man. I'm gonna need y'all to start this off with a like. Yes, start this off with a like. Apparently, I'm the I'm the sports commentator. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna talk about this issue. We're gonna talk about this exposure, right? Where Marcellus Wiley went off and exposed why Stephen A. Smith actually got rid of Max. So if y'all ain't in the know, a few episodes ago of the Joe Budden podcast, Stephen A. Smith was on and Stephen A. was talking about why Max Kellerman got fired or let go by First Take. And he admitted it. Stephen A. admitted that he made it happen, right? And he also admitted that him and Max have not talked ever since that happened. Now, the truth of what happened, at least from what Marcellus Wiley says, is that Stephen A. was jealous and didn't like Max personally because Max was outshining him, okay? Specifically on topics about race and culture, okay? Now, you have to know that around this time, when Max Kellerman was on First Take, this was around the time of Colin Kaepernick, right? This was between, Max was there between 2016 and 2021. So this was a little bit of the pandemic, Black Lives Matter protests. And, I'll say this, even though Max Kellerman is a liberal, you know what I mean? And I'll keep it real. I'm not really a liberal. I'm more on the center conservative side. It is what it is. I'm a rock on that. I'm a stand on that. Even though Max Kellerman is a liberal, his takes on black culture and what, is happening in society are actually pretty good. You know what I mean? Actually very reasonable and actually make a lot of sense. So much so that, when Terrell Owens said, when I'm in the streets, it seems like Max is blacker than you. Well, let me say it like this. Max might be blacker than Stephen A. You know what I mean? Yeah, culturally speaking, okay? No, literally, Stephen A. is a black man, but on a cultural level, okay, Stephen A. is not that culturally black in that sense. Max Kellerman used to rap. Max Kellerman has a lot of knowledge of not only hip-hop music, but black culture in general. Okay? And on top of that, Max Kellerman is very intelligent. Okay, so much so to the point that Max Kellerman graduated from Columbia, bro. With a degree in history. He's a very intelligent guy. So Max Kellerman would logically dismantle Stephen A. You know what I mean? And his arguments were sound, except when he was talking about Iguodala. That was crazy. But in general, Stephen A. was getting washed on a logical level, right? That's why Stephen A. became, I believe, an entertainer first before he became really a sports commentator. Stephen A. is entertaining, bro. He's entertaining, but he has also a massive ego, right? And that ego clashed with Max Kellerman. So when Max Kellerman intellectually dismantles his arguments, Stephen A. started making fun of Kellerman. Stephen A. started kind of roasting him on the low. And if you pay attention when you were watching it back in the day, Kellerman was not really, fighting back, right? Why was Skip Bayless and Stephen A. so good? Because at a certain level, Skip was on the other side. Skip was the entertainer, the out-of-pocket dude. And Stephen A. was the more logical, smarter guy. So the dynamic had switched, right? And the dynamic switched in where Stephen A. was more the out-of-pocket entertainer. And in a sense, Max Kellerman was the logical, straight man in the situation. So from what Marcellus Wiley says, that caused a dynamic where, Stephen A. got cheesed and said, Max gotta go. Max gotta go. And if you pay attention to how First Take has been, First Take is basically the Stephen A. Smith show with contributors, with co-hosts, right? And I think that this this thing is not good. I'm a fan of Stephen A, but his ego is getting out of pocket. And this can be an issue because you have an individual, right, like Shannon Sharpe, who is a star in his own. And this might cause some conflict. I hope it doesn't. I hope they work well together. I hope they build together. I hope that one day, I've predicted this, I hope that Shannon takes over First Take, which I think he's easily capable of doing. Because I believe that Stephen A. wanted a Will Kane and Stephen A. type of dynamic. He wanted a cultural clash. Black man, white man, conservative, liberal. That's what he wanted. LeBron fan, Jordan fan. Dallas fan, Dallas hater. All these things create conflict and their natural dichotomies, natural arguments. But Max Kellerman didn't fit in that paradigm because Max Kellerman is way more liberal than Stephen A. Stephen A is a borderline conservative. It is what it is. Stephen A being accused of being an Uncle Tom. I don't think he is, but it's not a heavy stretch. You feel me? So let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Is Stephen A, was he jealous? Because it looks like jealousy. Was he a hater? Because it looks like hating. Or am I wrong, or is Marcellus wrong? And keep in mind, Marcellus actually used to work with Max Kellerman, and they're actually close friends. So Marcellus got the intel, man. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Check out the videos right after the end, man. It's Big JTV. I'm out, bro.